How you guys doing? My name is John Harrington, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a trifle cake. A trifle cake is one of the most delicious desserts you've ever seen or smelled. What the trifle is, it's a layer of whatever you like, but today we're going to be using my favorite, which is some Cool Whip. Chocolate pudding, and some chocolate cake. And then to add a little crunch and texture, some Heath candy. So, what you need to do is what I did overnight is bake the cake first, and then you need to make the pudding and put it in the fridge. So we use 2 boxes of pudding for this, so you need to use 4 cups of milk. And that should be enough pudding, and we used only 1 box of cake mix. You need Devil's Food, which is just really a dark chocolate. You can use Betty Crocker, Food Club, Duncan Hines, doesn't matter. Same thing goes for the pudding. So the first step you want to do is you want to chop up the cake into long strips. My cake's a little dry, so it's sort of falling apart on me. That's what you gotta make sure you have enough water when you originally bake the cake. So the first layer of the trifle that we're gonna be doing today is Cool Whip. Cool Whip's like a really, really whipped cream. It's really nice. I think it's better than the whipped cream that comes out of the can. And when you're putting it in, when you're building the trifle, you need to let the Cool Whip sit out before you build it so it gets soft so you can smooth it out. The next layer is pudding, and I suggest not using the same utensils for putting them in the trifle dish. Again, you can put it however much you want on each layer. It's really up to you or whoever's eating it. The pudding's looking smooth. Alright, so now we're going to put our cake strips in. These cake strips are pretty thin, so we're going to be putting like 5 to 4 cake strips in. And if it falls apart, it's okay, because it's just going to get mushed up anyways in the cake. Try and fill every hole with the scraps. Alright. So next, we're going to put another layer of pudding. You can never have enough pudding. Now again, you only need 2 boxes of pudding. If you go more, you'll just have too much extra. And you'll only be able to do 2 layers, and we'll have 3 for the trifle. And same goes for the cake. You only need 1 box. Alright, so once we've done that, we need to grab our Heath candy. And if you're not putting sprinkles on top like we are, you can put Heath candy in the middle and on top. But since we're putting the sprinkles on, we're just going to put them in the middle. It's toffee from England. Alright, so after we put the Heath on, we're going to put Cool Whip next. The Cool Whip and the pudding go great together. Alright, so now that we have that layer of Cool Whip down, we're going to be adding another layer of cake, which we already have cut. This is our final layer of cake, so we should try and get all the cake on there. It's okay that our cake is dry because the pudding and the Cool Whip will add a little moisture to it so it'll get nice and soft. We're actually going to cut this one in half to fill the sides. Alright, so we've finished the last layer of cake. So we're going to put in the final layer of pudding. I suggest using all the pudding, but if you don't feel like using all the pudding, it's up to you. And when you're whisking your pudding, make sure you really whisk it so you don't get chunks. The same thing goes for the cake. Probably use like a hand mixer, like the one that plugs into the wall. And to our final layer of Cool Whip. I'm going to use all the Cool Whip because Cool Whip is probably one of my favorite parts of this trifle. My mom originally had Oreo in it. She got it from my aunt like 5 years ago. But we took the Oreo out and replaced it with Heath. And another thing you can make with the Heath is some really good cookies. But when you make them, you get about 60 cookies. And they're really nice and thin and crunchy. Great with a glass of milk. Alright, so we finished our final layer of Cool Whip. Now we're going to add sprinkles, or if you're not adding sprinkles, another layer of Heath. So we're going to use silver and red because we go to CM probably just for CM. But you can use red, white, and blue for 4th of July, or green and orange for St. Patrick's Day, or just red for Valentine's Day. And it's just sugar, so it won't taste any different. And that's a trifle. Make sure to get all the way down to that last layer. That looks good. Thanks for watching. Looks great.